This video is to share my learning experience in the world of digital currencies and crypto, how to move money, how to invest money, and how to create your own meme coin if that's what you're interested in. The idea is to become a sovereign banker of my own currency and my own energy, dealing and transacting using my own energy without the use of other currencies. And that's where I'm aiming. I'm not an expert at this, but I'm sharing my experience to benefit all who listen. The lesson following this is a real-time education on what I learn as I create my own cryptocurrency, and I'm here sharing it with you so that you might learn from the experience that I'm having. Blessings to you all. Well, hello. This is May the 29th, 2026. And it's been an interesting world, this world of trading and working in crypto. I've had some interesting lessons, and this may be an interesting episode. Could be. What has happened, I want to point out, some interesting things have happened. I made a trade 4 days ago. I'm not a trade. I made a purchase 4 days ago. I didn't do it in a limit order. I did it in a market order. And I really like the results because if my whole goal is to just own this, to own as much of it as I can. This is not really about me making money. The reason for this coin, for those of you who are new, this is a coin that I created trying to learn about setting up my own. It may not be the one, but I'm hoping it is the one. It'd be awesome to get it the first time. I'm learning about creating my own sovereign banking system. And I basically know the mechanics of, I know the concept of doing this, and I'm trying to put it to practical practice. I'm doing the learning process of that. That's what this is about, is sharing my experiences. I am no expert. I'll be the first to admit it. The things I'm going to speak about, maybe it kind of be a little bit gray about it, but I'm going to speak about some things that have happened and some bad experiences, because it's better for me to have bad experiences, I think, than you. I don't want to bring anybody into a situation that they're going to be getting themselves in trouble. And this has been my whole experience in investing in crypto has been a difficult. It wasn't really crypto, actually. I'm not going to go there, but it was. But the whole idea of online trading, I've had some trouble with it, and so I'm trying to make the best resolve, wisdom, growing the greatest wisdom, trying to get to a point where I make good use of what I have learned. Right? There's nothing wrong with that, I don't think. Okay, so this is if you look up here, let's see, 1 month, it says, basically 1 month since I created this coin, 1 month. It was basically the very end of April, very beginning of May, I started this coin. I sat on it for a little bit, and then I did the liquidity, created liquidity, which means that I made it available for sale. Now, why does it need to be made for sale? If I'm going to use it as a banking system, does it need to be made for sale? And I don't honestly know that I know that answer, because there's still experiments that I have in mind that I want to try. I've created 3 crypto coins, and they all relate kind of to finances and my dreams. So they're about financing my dreams. My dreams are about creating, reducing suffering globally. It's kind of, I know it's a big wish. A lot of people think I'm kind of way overstepping, and that may be true. That may be something I learned from this. But for me, at this point in my life, it doesn't really matter, because I believe that why not throw down in a big way, and whether I succeed or not, I still did my best to try and like I said, reduce suffering. So in this particular experiment, social experiment, financial experiment, I'm trying to create financial sovereignty. I'm trying to create my own banking system that is completely outside of the normal banking system. and I'm trying to basically hold custody of my energy. I'm trying to create a system that when I use my energy, when I work for somebody for compensation, that I will then be able to take the compensation and put it directly into something that I hold in private custody, not public custody. And that's what I'm working towards. Now, this is kind of public in the way that it is a publicly traded crypto coin that I've created here. And all this activity that you see here, these little green balls, circles with initials in it, those are my purchases. And what you might recognize is that I have not sold any. I'm not intending at this time in the experiment to try the selling side of it. Why? Because what I'm trying to do is create basically stability in this coin, because my intention is to start doing business using this as my currency. I want this to be my currency. I want to make this basically a place where I teach people how to do this. That's my goal. It may end up being something that I do for compensation. I mean, obviously, if I learn if I learn this trade, and I get to a point, I'm not a professional at it now. I'm a professional for me. It's kind of like it's a goal of mine to get to where I have two side-by-side systems of holdings, basically, where I hold money in the normal system that most people are used to, and then I hold money in or currency or energy. I call it all energy. When I keep track of what happens in my life financially, I call it energy. That's just the word that I use, because I believe that it comes from our body, whether it's mental or physical energy we exert, and then that is changed by compensation into an energy. And that energy is then captured in some form. It could be anything from your home to the funding in your banking to physical elements that you own. A nice car you could hold, or you could hold physical gold or silver. There's a lot of things that you can do to hold your energy. Now, the whole idea of the way energy works from my perception, I'm going to try and put it in my terms, because many people might see it differently. But in my perception, that the energy that comes from this vessel can be held in ways where you can then, basically, if it's in an asset, you can sell it, and then you can bring back energy that you spent maybe years ago, right? Maybe it could even become something you inherited, correct? In other words, you could inherit some sort of energy from a previous family member, and that goes into some sort of a energy storage system. And the whole idea of currency is the storage of energy. And there's many things that are considered to be wise, and there's many things can be considered unwise in the way you store energy, whether it's going to bring you stability, safety, security, or instability, right? There's different people have different perspectives on that. And I have to say, honestly, that I've had for a long time a little bit of a belief that the current situation that I'm in when it comes to this crypto digital currency, I really did not have. I'm not really the person who believed that this was a safe and secure way to hold. But the path that I've been on for the last few years has got me to a point where I've seen evidence to show that it's not really a bad way to go. Because if you were to hold all the energy that you've been saving, obviously in your house as an example, you can't take that, you can't throw it around the globe to the other side and use it to make a purchase or a transaction. So there's different things that we do to do transactions around the globe. And a lot of us are used to the normal situation where we do a wire, right? Or there's different ways to wire funding to another place. I use an app called Wise. I did that for a while. And I've used PayPal, and I've used a number of different apps to share wealth or energy with other people. And I've been working to try and perfect that, because my goal is to make it not only easy, but if it was in something like a house or gold, it's not really easy to work with, is it? It may be a representation of energy, but it may not really be the most useful in this day and age where we can be transacting globally. And so I have been on a journey of learning, and so I'm trying to share that with you. Okay, so I don't want to spend a whole lot of time explaining that concept, but it is important, because the best, the perfect, the most important way of being able to store the energy that comes from our vessel, our body, is in a way that not only is safe, right? You want to keep it safe where it can't be just easily taken from you, but you also want to be able to move it and send it to wherever you wish to transact, right? Or be able to travel the planet and be able to go places and have your energy with you in a very convenient way. And I believe that is the way that the entire globe is going this way. It's going to be the way we transact. So what I'm offering to help entice you into is the future. The future of energy storage is going to be in the digital form, even though it's kind of scary. And so my suggestion to you in the idea of storing your energy or your family's energy or your inherited energy is to create a way where it's not only safe but easy to move. Now, some people don't care. There's a lot of people that really believe in like metals, right? I believe in pure metals like gold, silver, platinum. I believe the value of that. But I have personally, because I have held a lot of silver in my life, and it was a situation where it was kind of an issue to both hold it safely and keep it stored. So I'm not saying this to discourage anybody who does it, but it is an issue. In fact, I know some people who hold it in a secure vault, and that they actually have a service that manages their metals, and that service allows them to basically get on the phone or send a text and to basically say, I want to sell this much, and I want this money to go there. I want this energy to go there, right? So that's kind of a good system, and it's becoming quite popular. These vaults that will manage your metals. So it's like a step up when it comes to security over the normal banking system when it comes to holding our energy and our wealth, right? Okay, so what I'm offering is something similar, I think. I really have gotten to a point where I believe that from what I've taken the time to learn about the idea of how the whole system, the digital system works, and to be able to find the reasoning for trust in that system, and because of that, I believe that there is, because I believe that's where we're going. I believe it's something that we should all embrace, and we should get to a point where we should start basically learning about it, because if we don't, we're going to be at a disadvantage when we're kind of forced to go into it anyway. So what has happened? This last purchase I made was 4 days ago, and since then, the people who have been holding, and their percentage of holding has gotten smaller. Those of you who have watched previous videos, the sniper and the bundler have their percentage of holdings has gotten less. I have about 23, 25 people that are holding this coin. And I don't know how many of them are happy. I don't really know how many of them are happy. There is kind of an indication of either a scam that was kind of done, because you can, almost anybody who trades in a coin, they can flag it. If they had problems with that coin, they have a system of reporting where trouble exists, right? And that kind of makes sense. We kind of would want that thing. So we would want that type of service, right? To make sure that if there's any trouble with something before we go to buy it, that we know that it's safe. Well, as far as I know, everything on my coin has been done absolutely upright and legitimately, with no intentions to do harm to anybody. And because of that, I mean, I literally have only invested in this. I've not even sold one, not even one coin, even for the learning experience. There will become a time, but my intention is not to do any type of like rug pull or try and like capitalize on the people who purchase the coin. My aim is to create stability, and I will be the first one to keep to hold on to this coin and keep my wealth in there, whatever wealth I put in there, right? The energy. And so what had happened was my coin got flagged as what they called it spam, which I didn't even know what the term spam meant. But I did notice in my travels throughout this space of digital currency, I did notice a place where you can report, there was a place, it's down here near the bottom, and I don't know if I can find it right now, I'm not going to try, but there's a place where you can click on a button and you can make a report saying that maybe something didn't go well for you. So you can report that something happened and you're not happy. And I don't know, I don't see any signs of anybody of being unhappy. And I haven't personally profited from anybody. I do know that there's those like this bundler and this sniper who have both basically purchased the coin early. They bought it back here at the beginning, which was, about 2 weeks plus ago. I think it was Sunday, 2 Sundays ago, I started the coin, or I did the liquidity, right? And then it's been kind of up and down ever since. And you can see that I haven't been interested in capitalizing on it. I've been interested. You can see that this is one of my big purchases that I made, right? So you can see because it created a market cap of 3.97K, like 4K, basically, of market cap. So it's not, and I haven't sold any. So it's basically showing that I'm here to stay. I do personally own 33% of the coin, and I intend to own, my goal really is around about 80%. I want to own personally about 80%, but I want to leave 20% of this coin to be able to transact. I need people that want to buy it. Why? Because I intend to basically use it as a currency that I want to exchange in. And it's similar to doing trades with another continent, another country, another currency. I love people in Australia. I love Australia, spent a lot of time in Australia. I want to spend more time in Australia. And when I go to Australia, I send money to Australia and hold it there in a bank in Australia. And in that bank, I get the benefits of changing currency. And so it's a type of thing this is the same thing that I wish to do with this particular coin. I wish to make this a currency that I will transact in. And so I'll be the sovereign country of Dirk, and I'm going to hold the sovereign currency of Dirkishness, or this Dirk BJ. And I plan on transacting eventually. Now, it's going to be a big deal, but I want to share that with you. The big deal is that, I literally going to have to teach people how to use this whole app, of wallets, having a digital wallet and being able to transact, send, receive, and transact, compensate via a wallet that is digital. And learning all, hopefully, I will help you learn all of the different aspects of what it's like to do those transactions, right? And that's my goal. My goal is to teach you and then, of course, encourage you to do the same. And so what my goal is to get to where I kind of find out what we need to watch out for. And somebody, I think it was somebody who is maybe part of this group who have been trying to cause trouble in my life. I've been purposely, honestly sharing this publicly because I knew that they would watch these things. And I do believe that it's probably someone from that group that basically reported my currency as having problems with it. And so I've been reported as someone who is spamming. They call it spamming. And I didn't even know what spamming was. So that's part of the whole learning experience, as I've been through a little bit of education on what spamming is. Now I know a little more. And as you can see, this is actually, so far, my reputation as a coin is really not bad. If you look up here in this area, it says audit. It's been audited, and it says a number of audits, checks have passed. So my coin has passed audits. But I do know where there could be controversy, because the whole idea of these type of audits is to prove that I'm not spamming and I'm not using this to spam anything, or to basically not spam, using this to money launder, right? People are concerned that people would be in an illegitimate business and they take the funding from illegitimate business and they use something like this to transact in a way of avoiding taxation. And I don't really avoid I don't avoid taxation. I pay taxes. And so it's not one of these things that I'm really concerned with. My concern is learning how it all goes. And in that lesson, I realized and learned, and I've done some research, I will share it with you, is that I need to verify this coin. And what the verify process does is it will audit my coin and all the money and funding that has gone into it. And there's all the different directions where the money came from. And that's what I have to provide, basically. And when I do that, they will remove the flag, basically, that says that I'm not doing anything unlawful with the coin. Okay, so but that is something to learn, because if you were interested in doing the same process, you would probably need to be prepared to verify your coin. And so now I know that if I was to do a brand new coin, which I have 2 of them that I have not done liquidity on, and those coins, I think one of the next things I will do with those 2 will be to to verify those coins, and so that I can bypass all the concerns that these coins are used for illegitimate work, right? Illegitimate business. Okay, so that's kind of a lesson to learn. I will share with you the different verification processes. I'm not going to do it in this episode, but in this episode, I wanted to let you know that I did have to deal with that. I have done a considerable research to try and learn what needs to be done. I have found the solutions to verifying my coin, and I'm going to be going through that process, and I'll share what happens as I do that. I don't notice if I go on another. This is on the Phantom exchange. Apparently, my coin has a flag on it, and if I go on I did go on other exchanges and bring my coin up, and I did find that it doesn't seem to show. I don't have a great rating. I went to Dex tools, and I did basically a Dex screen on it. And I learned from that, and I'm still growing and trying to basically take good notes and then find out the process that needs to be done. Now, one thing you should know is that you can do what I'm trying to do as far as getting yourself a parallel banking system that is not connected to what you're used to in the regular societal means. There is, you can create your own side-by-side detached wallet where you have full holding. You hold it yourself, and this whole thing is the security is really good. So a lot of people do that. So you can basically hold custody of your earnings in a side-by-side system, and you don't have to make your own coin. For those who are worried that don't really want to get into all this hassle, they want to keep it simple, there are plenty of amazing coins out there that you can invest in. And when you invest in them, you can use them as your currency. Now, there may be people that don't agree with that. I'm sure there are. I know that this is kind of, it's progressive. Let's put it progressive. I guess that might be the way you would say it. I'm not really one that follows the normal rules, because I want to make this life about learning and exploring. And so that's why I kind of do the things I do. And this is part of my research in kind of I'm doing a financial experiment, doing a financial social experiment. Okay, this is kind of long. I apologize for the length of it. For those of you who have made it all the way to the end, blessings to you. I hope this helps. And please contact me. In this video, there'll be all kinds of ways for you to contact me. You can contact me with questions. You need any type of help. I mean, I'm not really charging anybody at this time for encouragement, right? But there will be a moment where I kind of have to make this part of a business. I mean, we do things to pay our bills, right? That's what we do. And so this research and what I'm doing eventually is meant to basically become a sideline, something I make money at. And I encourage you to get your own wallet going. Get yourself a wallet. They're free. They don't cost you anything. And then start the experiment of playing how to move money, how to do transactions, how to pay for things. Some places don't take crypto. Some places do. That whole system is changing as we speak. When you think of XRP and XLM, XLM and XRP are two of many coins. That stable coin, these are all coins that are being created for transactions and to keep it all normal so that you can go into a store and make it, eventually it'll be that every store will take crypto in a form or not. They'll be able to take your digital payments, as if it's just, I mean, you can do it on a card, right? You can get a card on most places like Coinbase and all the different channels where you get to learn how to trade and all these sort of things. So you can get a crypto card that basically takes your crypto and turns it into cash, and then that cash basically is usable on a regular standard card that you're already used to. Okay, sorry I got a little bit fuzzy at the end there. Blessings to you all. I hope it helps.